Hi, Bim.
Hello, Nicole.
How are you today?
Do you know what? I'm feeling great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good.
yeah, it's great. So I advocated for going braless this year. I'm living my best braless life. Everything's just like
Nice.
moving around and happy.
Nice,
Yeah, so
nice.
that's me today. I'm just relaxed as fuck.
I couldn't even tell.
That's my point.
Okay,
Just
look at
live
you.
your life.
Perky bosoms.
Well, I don't like to brag, but it is what it is. Directly under my chin for life. Yes. All jokes aside, I can't advocate it enough.
Yeah.
But yes, that's my contribution to the events of this week. Nicole, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. I have a nice little, next morning glow, shall we say. It's good. Things are good. Yes.
I'm glad. I'm happy to hear it. You look good.
Thank you.
You do have a glow. I didn't want to kind of like guess
Thank
its
you.
source,
Thank
but
you.
I'm happy that, there is a source. This week,
Yeah.
we're doing a little something, aren't we?
Yeah, we're giving some little bonus goodies, to the audience, our listeners out there.
And this week, there is a very special focus on our bonus content.
Yes, this week we are going to read some listener drabbles.
Yes.
Our listeners have sent in some incredible pieces of work.
Listen.
I mean, we're swooning all over the place over
Right.
here.
Let's
We need a sippy cup and everything.
Somebody just come clean up all of this. It's just like the inbox is filthy, and it's got to that stage now where you have to kind of like do that weird window wiping sound so you can just see through it. But no, it's nice. It's very steamy in the inbox. There's lots of drabbles. Some of them are, let's be honest, too long.
Oh,
And
yeah.
we caution against this because we cannot read a 7-page drabble.
Now, some of the stuff that we get is really sweet, though. It's, it's perfect. It's short, it's sweet, and it's just get in and get out.
Sure. It packs a punch. So, Nicole, you're going to kick us off.
Yes, and this is by Lauren.
Yes, Lauren.
And it is about the Indian actor and filmmaker Amir Khan. It's very handsome.
I've seen the pics, bitch.
Yeah,
I've seen them. He's been blessed. Good face, good everything.
All right, so here we go. The sweat from my fingers washed away some of the ink from our photographs as I placed them in the fire. I watched Amir's stern face melt and his furrowed brow disintegrate into embers. That's all that was left of him now. Embers in my chest where he once caused flames to rise and rage. I was still consumed by the heat.
Lauren.
Woo.
Lauren is like, I'm washing that man right out of my hair and putting him
Yes,
directly into a
yes.
fire.
I mean, who hasn't set fire to memories? I mean, come on.
Okay, Adele, set fire to the rain. It's done. Listen.
Lauren, that was great. Thank you so much for sending that in, particularly because it's a thirst object that we were not super familiar with.
Right.
I
I always appreciate that.
Yeah.
Like, widen the thirst palette
Yes.
at all times. Having said that, I'm now going to read something from another listener, which is not, I mean, we literally featured him last season.
Yes.
But sometimes, as my friend Vari says, the Foof wants what the Foof wants.
I'm scared to ask what the Foof is.
I mean, whatever you think it is, that's what it is. So this one is from Stacey. Stacey sent this in to us a couple of months back. It's about Tom Hardy. Tom, just thinking about him makes me happy. How you doing, Tom? Hope you're well. Hope you're with dogs. All right, let's read it. God, I love that dress. He growls into my ear. You look perfect. I don't know how Tom sneaks up on me like this, but I love that he can and does. My whole body lights up, and I feel his wolfish grin before I see it in the mirror. His perfect mouth, his goofy teeth, him. I grin back, and then, controlling my mouth, I finish my lipstick. He moves in even closer, and his hands find my hips. I shiver. His smile disappears, replaced by a familiar, more intent expression, and my eyes fall closed as he bends his head to kiss the back of my neck. He knows exactly what this does and exactly what he is doing. We're going to be late, I manage. He laughs softly against my skin. This is your cousin's wedding, I whisper. He bites, very gently. I stop pretending that this stupid wedding means anything at all when his hands slide to the front. Suddenly he halts. I hold my breath. Do you know what? He purrs. Too perfect. Take your hair down, darling. I need to muss you a little before we go.
Stacy!
Listen! Stacy said you're going to get this travel.
Woo! Okay. I love that. His perfect mouth, his goofy teeth.
His goofy
Stacy, what? Come through.
Stacy said that Tom wanted to muss before they went out. Are you kidding me?
I love it.
Stacy, man. Seriously, why aren't you writing this professionally? I hope you are. Sort it out, Stacy. Come on.
All right.
What have you got next, Nicole? What are you going to do?
Okay. This is from listener Sajia, Sajia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Hey, Sajia. Or Sajia.
Sajia.
Or Steve. I don't know how it's pronounced. You know, you see some spellings, you're like, what could that be? And they go, it's pronounced Steve. And you go, sure. Hi, Sajia.
They've sent in something about Alex Turner, the lead singer from Arctic Monkeys.
Okay, so listen, I'm glad that this is something that we're going to read because we have had people ask us on Tumblr if we can expand and it not just be Hollywood people. Now, of course, we've done people who aren't Hollywood.
Right.
We've done people who aren't actors. But it's always nice when you have the option and you can, you know, again, it's all about widening the palette. That's what she said. But I feel like this is going to be a good one because Alex Turner has a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yeah.
Even when I think he's being a div, I'm like, oh, let me see what this is. So I'm excited to hear what Sajia may have written for Alex Turner.
Here we go. My lips snag on my teeth as I watch him. Tight red dress trousers snuggle his hips, wrapping themselves around his rear and thighs. I glance down, scanning the crowd of giddy girls and guys clutching their phones, recording from what should be an unflattering angle but could do him no damage. Yes. Alex holds his guitar, left hand cradling the neck as if it's mine. What? I imagine his long fingers grasping gently at my baby hairs before reaching deep between my curls to palm my scalp. My fingers fist the curtains as I stand off stage, watching the lights paint his tar-like locks the colors of the rainbow. His aquiline nose cuts the air as his mouth sweeps towards the mic, brushing it lightly and lingering as if savoring the texture.
Yes.
Alex catches my eyes, winks, and speaking out of the side of his mouth, his voice thick like local honey, says, I just have one question. Are you mine?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Okay. What?
I mean, there's a lot happening up in here.
There is so much happening. The bit where Sajia says Alex grasps and cups her scalp or some shit.
Yes.
Excuse me. What is the meaning of all this? I love it.
Are you of color? Do you got some curls and some kinks happening on your hair? Let us know.
I just enjoy the visual. Also, this is a stunning way to describe this. His aquiline nose cuts the air.
Yes.
Bitch, yes. Cut the air.
Cradling the neck of the guitar as if it's mine. Come on.
Listen. When his lips touch the mic and Sajia writes, brushing it lightly and lingering as if savoring the texture. I was like,
come
Sajia.
on, the texture of what?
The texture of... Listen, that's the name of our book. The texture of what? Wow, I think I'm too sweaty to go on.
Right. Thank you, Sajia.
Big time.
That was great.
Wow.
I need a cigarette.
I was going to say, let me a fag real quick. I got to exhale.
Shit.
I've been waiting to exhale. Jeez. All right. We've got one from Catherine. This is from a couple of months back as well. Quite a few months back. And it's about, of all people, someone who has emerged as a kind of like a late blooming zaddy.
Yeah.
A Mr. John Krasinski.
He's on our list.
Listen, I was surprised to find him on the list, but there he was. Because I was like, you know what? The Foof wants what the Foof wants. And John is it. I feel like this is going to be a very good drabble. So
Okay.
this is from Catherine with a K. Let's get into it. I follow the sounds of my husband's deep chuckles to the living room and pause in the doorway. There he is, John, in black sweatpants and a white t-shirt, doing push-ups with our daughter perched on his wide back, uproariously counting his progress. I watch them, her joy and trust, his strength and patience. John sees me leaning against the door jamb and beams through his new dark beard. Rolling suddenly, he scoops our girl up in his strong arms and she whoops with laughter. His eyes meet mine. Head on outside, hon, he tells her. I'll be there in a bit and we'll do some more. She runs up with imperious instructions to not be slow, but he takes his time standing, never breaking eye contact. John's smile is different now as he crosses the room. There's a promise there. You don't need to stop, I say, running my hand off his taut side, feeling a slight slick of sweat through his tank. He leans in, resting his forearm against the top of the doorway, and lowers his mouth to my ear. Why? Want to keep watching, he asks. His voice turns husky. Or maybe you want to turn too?
Bitch. Catherine.
Catherine, I feel assaulted.
Oh my gosh. You know, our sweet spot is
Listen.
a man being kind and sweet with his child and then
Listen.
turning to us and being like, you can get some.
The bar is so low. The bar is so low. Here is a decent man just like spending time with a child he helped create. And we're like,
Right.
oh my God, I'm so hot for this. Like, and yet, Catherine, you did this justice because you elevated the art form.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That little bit where she says, you know, his smile is different now. I was like,
Yes.
is it?
Yes.
Is it?
And the detail, you could see him leaning his arm up against the door.
Listen.
What, Catherine? Okay.
Catherine said you were going to visualize this shit.
Yes.
And Catherine, you were right. I did visualize it and it was wonderful.
Yes.
In the words of Mr. Vonnegut, it was beautiful. Nothing hurt. It was great. I love it. Thank you so much, Catherine. I love the sign off as well because there's like 7 exclamation marks. And then they said, this is all I can say about what just came out of my thirsty brain. And we agree. 7 exclamation marks.
Yes, it was great. Thank
Whew.
you.
Wow. Jesus, I really do need a cigarette.
Whew. All right, that was Lauren who wrote in about Amir Khan.
Right. And then there was Stacey who wrote about Mr. Thomas Hardy.
Sajia gave us a drabble about Alex Turner from Arctic Monkeys.
And as you just heard, Catherine on the wonderful John Krasinski on Daddy Duty. And I don't mean that the dirty way. I mean it the good. Oh, God. I hate you so much. It's kind of remarkable.
So people ask us all the time, would you ever consider compiling your drabbles into a book?
Right.
We'd love to put out some kind of zine or something for our listeners.
That would be a dream, actually.
Yeah.
The zine thing, I think, that would be like a community effort. And, you know, I'm, you know, a child of the 90s. I really enjoyed zine culture in the 90s where you just kind of like mishmash stuff that people found interesting.
Yeah.
And just put it all together.
Yeah, and
And
it
there
looks
you
all
go.
pretty and
Right.
quirky.
Right. Like it's all like 17 different fonts in
Yes.
like 3 pages. Just chuck it all together. I love the DIY element of that. I think it's really lovely. So the short answer is, would we ever consider it? Well, yes, of
Yeah,
course.
of course. Will
But
it happen?
also- that's the real question.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, we're working on all these other projects.
Yeah.
So they might not be kind of like exactly tax stuff, but it's still of Nicole and of Bim. So you will hopefully still find our work out there. You know, we write. Nicole has a
Yes.
wonderful collection of poetry out right now. You should buy it.
yes,
It's called
yes.
Lilith but Dark. It's very good.
Yes, plug.
Plug,
Get
plug,
it.
plug. Yes.
It's great. Bim has a play that she wrote that's being produced.
Yeah.
Tell about the play.
Oh, it's called Horde. It's
Yes.
going to be at the Edinburgh Festival and it's exciting. It's very exciting. So there are ways that you can support us should you wish to. That won't necessarily be a collection of our drabbles, but we'll keep writing our drabbles because we enjoy it and you clearly enjoy them.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just keep going. And then if it becomes something more, that will be great. And we'll let you know. And if it doesn't, hey, listen, you can enjoy it in a transient form on the on the internet, listening with your ears. That might also be a really fun thing for us just to have like as our legacy.
We hope that you enjoyed today's episode, today's mini-sode with some listener drabbles from our lovely thirst buckets out there.
So many thirst buckets. Listen, we are going to definitely load up every drabble that we read in this episode. That's definitely going to be on our Tumblr. And our Tumblr, of course, is thirstaidkidpodcast.tumblr.com. And what we're trying to do also is work on a bit where we can have of our Tumblr, where it's just all of our drabbles that we ourselves write week in, week out, plus other drabbles from listeners that we get so many of as well.
Everyone is a winner.
Everyone is a winner. And I think the best way for us to combat this is, like we said, we're going to put it all up. First Aid Kit is produced by us, Bim Adewumi and Nicole Perkins, Julia Furlan and TK Dutez.
Thank you to the listeners whose drabbles we read today. Lauren, Stacy, Sajia, and Catherine. We appreciate you taking the time to create and the bravery to send all those in. Thank you so much. Long may you thirst.
Our music is by Tanya Morgan, and you can follow the show on Twitter at First Aid Kit, and we're individually at Bimadew, Bimadew, and Tennessee Whiskey with an E, Woman. That's TN Whiskey Woman. Plus, we're on Tumblr at thirstaidkitpodcast.tumblr.com. So please come and thirst with us over there.
Don't forget to head over to Apple Podcasts to leave a review and rate the show. It helps other people discover Thirst Aid Kit, and we always appreciate 5 stars.
If you're one of those people who likes live tweeting, please use the hashtag TACPOD. That's TAKPOD. And you can send us emails of love, affection, gratitude, and blessings at thirstaidkit@buzzfeed.com.
Listen, y'all, we love you. We'll be back to full-length episodes as soon as we can. Remember, stay thirsty.
Bye. For the smut to really work, for the drabble to really work, you want the whole thing.
Yeah. We don't want to always tease you. We want to be able to, get you to completion.
Oh my God, I hate you so much. Stop chuckling in my ear. Get out.